As you probably already figured out, I'm a teacher and I teach at Harvard Institute of Technology. I'm going to talk about language, I'm going to talk about culture, and I'm going to talk about learning Chinese and learning English. I've been here for 3 years in China. This is my 4th year, all in Harbin, all at HIT, Harvard Institute of Technology. I enjoy it very much, but learning Chinese has kind of eluded me. It's been very, very difficult for me. I still don't know the 4 tongues. I still don't know the difference between a mother and a horse. Ma, ma. I don't know if I'm calling you a mother or a horse. I've been here for 3 years. I had a teacher when I first got here. She did her best to help me. I don't hear the difference very much between the 4 tones. I've tried many times and I'm still learning. I've learned several words. I know a lot of Chinese and I speak a lot of Chinese, but the problem is none of you understand what I'm saying. And I'm sure a lot of you, especially the students that are learning English, many of you in the audience that are learning English, you can sympathize with me. You know what I'm going through here in China because you've been studying English and it's been a challenge for you. And I guess as a teacher, because I'm not a very good student, hopefully at least my feeling is that it makes me a better teacher because I can sympathize with my students. Even words like soup, sugar, pain. I'm a big believer in Chinese medicine. I always use Chinese medicine before I try Western medicine or take Western medicine drugs. I sometimes go to the doctor and he gives me, what's in the Chinese, jinju, right? Acupuncture. And sometimes it hurts. So I say tongue. The doctor says to me, why do I want to drink some soup? Are you hungry? I still don't know the difference between sugar, soup, and pain. Tongue, tongue, tongue. But I try. And usually if I go to a restaurant, the odds are that I'm not going to feel pain. I'm either going to get my sugar or I'm going to get the soup, whatever I want. So it's not so bad. And at least I have a general idea. I know. For you all, there's a big difference between tongue and tongue. But I don't hear the big difference that much. As I said, I've been teaching for 3 years. This is my 4th year at HIT. And I teach debating, which is fighting with words, and I teach public speaking. And in public speaking, one of the fortunate things I'm able to do is travel a lot in China. But I want to tell you another story about right here in Harbin, and teaching at HIT, which I hope you'll find entertaining, if not interesting and stuff. But before I continue, are there any questions? Come on up here. Hi.
Hello. Well, I saw this ball you were busy. What is it?
What is the ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you play this? What? This here?
Do you like my ball?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
A little bit.
Okay. Thank you. I'll answer your question. You can sit down. Do you all want to know about my ball?
Yeah.
I guess it's not very pretty, huh? It's not even round anymore. It's very worn. But this ball is very special. It's very, very special. It's almost like a magic ball. The reason why it's so special is because this ball has the heart, the soul, the courage, the sweat, the perspiration, the frustration, the hopes, and the dreams of every student that walked on the stage in my classroom like this and held the ball in their hands. Hundreds of students held the ball when they first gave their first public speech in public. And that's what makes this ball so special. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Fei Cheng Hao. At Harbunda, at HIT, I teach sometimes at the second campus. There are two campuses. Actually, there's three, but there's two main campuses. And many times I have to teach at the second campus. I need to take a faculty school bus. And the faculty school bus comes very early in the morning. And one winter day, I missed the bus. I overslept, and I had to get to class. So what I did is I went to take a taxi in front of the main gate of HIT. And it was a very cold day, and as you all know, living in Harbin, it's not always easy to get a taxi. And of course, I don't know, and I didn't know at the time, how to say HIT or Harbin Institute of Technology second campus. So my colleague, my Chinese colleague, wrote it out on a piece of paper like this. So that when I went outside to a taxi, I was able to stand there. When the taxi came, he rolled down the window. I held up the paper. And of course, what did he say? Mayo, mayo. Meaning he cannot. I know I'm not pronouncing it right? Mayo? I cannot. The second taxi driver came. I held up the paper. He rolled down the window. Mayo, mayo, he said. The third taxi driver. The fourth. The fifth. Finally, I said to myself, I looked at my watch, I have to get to the second campus. I better take the city bus, the public transportation. So I'm walking in front of the main gate, in front of HIT, Harbin Institute of Technology, walking to the bus, the public bus or the city bus. And all of a sudden, a taxi pulls up. But he does not ask me where I'm going. He just says, get in, like this. He motions with his hand to get in. So, I look in the front seat, because usually I like to sit in the front seat, because I'm very big, and it's more comfortable for me. But there was somebody sitting in the front seat, so I could not sit in the front seat. I looked in the back seat, and there were two people sitting in the back seat. A little guy sitting behind the driver of the taxi. In the middle was a lady that was very big, but not this way, over here. So I looked at them, and I opened the door, and they were not happy people. She was sitting here like this. And the guy in the front was not happy, and the little guy behind the driver was not happy. So I said to myself, I'm going to get in this taxi. I only had this much room. And I'm a pretty big guy myself. So I get in the best I can. I try to close the door. I cannot close the door. She's sitting there like this, not moving. The only person happy is the taxi driver, because he's going to make money, right? So I'm trying to close the door. The taxi driver is yelling at me. Everybody's giving me bad looks. So finally I go like this to the lady. Wham! And she goes, whoop. And I go, whoop. And I close the door. And we kind of melt into the seat together. So, at this point, I have the door closed. What do you think? What do you think the taxi driver asked me at that point? What question? Anybody going to help me out? Where are you going, right? So I said, no problem. I started to look for my piece of paper. I could not find the paper anywhere. I have my backpack like this. I could barely move. I'm looking for the paper. I cannot find it. I did not know how to say HIT Second Campus in Chinese. The taxi driver is yelling at me. He thinks if he yells at me loud enough and angrily enough, that somehow my Chinese comprehension and speaking ability will improve. I assure you, it did not. But I said to myself, I said, Steve, you got to do this. You have to be able to tell them where you're going. I did not want to get out of this taxi. I did not want to miss my class, and I did not want to lose face. So I said to myself, okay, try to say this. So the taxi driver's face is maybe over here, my face is over here. He's yelling at me, where are you going? Of course in Chinese. I understood what he was saying. And I said to myself, you can do this. I took a deep breath. He looked me in the eye. I looked him in the eye. And I said in my best Chinese, Hagunda Archu. To my surprise, he understood me. And he took me to Hagunda Archu. And the lady with the big almost smiled at me. Almost. So why am I telling you this story? You know, I forgot to use my PPT with this whole thing. Okay? The whole point of my story, or the theme of my speech today, is do not let schooling get in the way of your education. Okay? To succeed in life, you must take responsibility for your education. Schooling is not enough. Language is about thinking, and thinking is about language. The whole point of my story is that whatever you're trying to do in life, whether you're trying to learn English, because all the time students come up to me, how can I improve my English? How can I improve my English? The only answer I have is the example that I set in the taxi. Because I admit I'm not a very good student, but what I did do is I just did it. Thank you.